In this video, I will explain how to draw a PDM network diagram. So let's jump right into an example. Let's say that we're given this table right here. And this table shows us, for some particular project, the activities that will occur in this project, their predecessor, and the duration of each activity. So a PDM network diagram is just a diagram that will allow us to visualize the flow of these activities. So the way that we start drawing this diagram is we first look at our activities, and let's identify which activity does not have a predecessor. So that would be activity A. And what that tells us is that activity A, there is no predecessor. In other words, there is no activity that must occur before activity A is allowed to start. So the way we're going to start drawing this diagram is we'll write an A right here. Then we'll just move our way down this list of activities. So next, if we look at activity B, we can see that its predecessor is A, which means that activity A must occur before activity B can occur. So what we're going to do is draw an arrow from A to B. And this just says, okay, activity A must happen first, and then activity B is allowed to happen. So then if we keep moving down the activity list, we'll come up to activity C, and we'll see that it also has a predecessor of A. So again, let's draw an arrow from A to C. Working our way down, we see that next is activity D. It has a predecessor of B. So let's draw an arrow from activity B to activity D. Moving on down the list, we'll come up to activity E, which has a predecessor of C. So we'll draw an arrow from C to E. So C must occur before E can occur. Then moving down the list, once we get to activity F, we can see that it has two predecessors. So activity D and E both must occur before activity F. So what we can do is draw an arrow from D and E to activity F. And lastly, activity G has a predecessor of F. So we'll draw an arrow from F to activity G. So what we've done here is we've just drawn a rough sketch of our PDM network diagram. Now, to formalize this a little bit, we're going to use boxes. So for each activity, we're going to use a box like this. And what we're going to do is in the middle square, in the top row, we're going to write the activity name. So let's say activity name. We'll just write ACT for short. And in the middle box of the bottom row, this box right here, we're going to write the duration of each activity. So for example, let's start with activity A. For activity A, we'll write A as the activity, and the duration, we'll refer to our table up here. We can see it has a duration of 2. Now this could represent days or weeks or even months, but the units isn't important right here. So we're just going to focus on the numbers. So we'll write a 2 right here. Now in a future video, we're also going to fill in these other 4 boxes with additional information, but for this video, we're just going to keep it very simple and only fill in the activity name and the duration. Then we're simply going to repeat this process for all of the other activities. So this is what our final PDM network diagram will look like. And again, each of these boxes shows the activity name along with the duration. So again, this type of diagram is just a simple way to visualize the flow of activities in a particular project, and it allows us to see which activities must occur first before other specific activities can occur.